Hi, everyone. Welcome. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started so we can get out of here nice and early. So I'm going to go over how tonight's going to work. For those of you guys who were here yesterday, you kind of already have an idea. But for those who weren't, I'm going to go ahead and just reiterate the process. So how it will work is I will ask each candidate 3 questions. They'll be different for each candidate. And then you will each have 1 minute and 10 seconds to answer each question from me. And then after I ask each candidate 3 questions, I'll open it up to everybody on the Zoom call. And they will have an opportunity to ask a maximum of 3 questions. The 3 questions that come from the people in the audience, each candidate for the position will have to answer, if that makes sense. So my questions to the specific candidates will be different, but the questions that come from the audience, each candidate will have to answer. If you're confused, you'll see as you move on. So the order we're going to go for tonight is going to be Vice President for Governmental Affairs. They will debate against each other first, and then we will go with the Executive Vice Presidents. They will debate against each other next, and then we will go with our Executive President. They'll debate against each other last. So let me just, give me 1 second. Let me just pull up the, so first up we're gonna have Governmental Affairs. And the 2 candidates running for this position are Elizabeth Wood and I believe is my candidate. Let me just, so we're gonna go in alphabetical order. So Samhita, you'll be up first. For the audience, if you have to ask any questions, you can put it in the chat. The chat is disabled, so it will only go to one of us that are co-hosts. I advise you to try to direct your questions towards Chris, just because my other co-hosts are doing other things for me. But it's okay if you forget and you direct it towards Suchira, myself, or Dave. We'll get your question answered. You can't come off of mute unless I take you off mute or I ask you to come off of mute. And then Suchira, you want to discuss how you're going to be keeping time.
Yeah, so you'll have 1 minute and 10 seconds, and that 20 seconds left, I'll tap my camera like this 5 times. And when the time runs out, I'll just unmute you, or I'll mute you. And before you speak, I'll unmute you because you can't unmute yourselves. So 20 seconds left, 5 taps on my camera.
Awesome. Are there any questions so far? If you have a question, you can raise your hand. You can also come off, put your cameras on so we can see your faces, but that's okay if you don't want to. But yes, you can raise your hand and I will answer. I'm going through, I don't see anybody with raised hands. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. First up, we have Samhita. Let me find you. I'm gonna ask your question. You'll be able to answer it. When you start talking, your time will start. So we have Samhita up first for Governmental Affairs. So my first question to you is, please introduce yourself, your involvement on campus, and the backgrounds and qualifications that make you the best candidate for Governmental Affairs.
Hi, my name is Samhita, and I'm a junior biology major, also pursuing a minor in marketing. I am currently a Senator of Science, along with the Constitutional Review Chair under the Governmental Affairs Committee. Being the Constitutional Review Chair this past year has been truly rewarding and is providing me with an incredible learning experience as I was able to further enhance my understanding of constitutional language and the need for it. Outside of student government, I'm an active member of Alpha Phi Omega, which is a service fraternity, and Tri Beta, the Biological Honor Society. I believe that my experiences this past year in student government and outside of campus would make me the best candidate for Vice President of Governmental Affairs.
Okay, thank you so much. My next question for you is, how do you plan to engage and collaborate with your committee to fulfill your duties and responsibilities as the Vice President for Governmental Affairs?
The responsibilities of being the Vice President of Governmental Affairs comes with managing chair positions along with the committee. So along with managing these positions, I would like to promote voter engagement. This year, New Jersey has elections to elect a new governor, so this would be an important goal, at least for the fall semester. From personal experience, I would never give much importance to state elections, but recently I've learned the importance of it, and I'm sure there are people that still don't understand the importance, so I hope to educate the TCNJ student body, as well as youth in the community on the importance of voting in state elections, besides just presidential elections, regarding the impact people our age can make in these elections. So delegating responsibilities within the committee pertaining to this goal, as well as the recognition of student organizations and bills and resolutions, is a way I'd like to fulfill my responsibilities.
Thank you. And then my last question for you is, how will you improve upon the support given to student government members who go through the legislative process for changing the Constitution, SG bylaws, as well as sponsoring resolutions?
In order to improve the support given to student government members who may be overwhelmed or intimidated by going through the legislative process, the best way is to be more accessible. As a cabinet member, one of the most important aspects is being accessible and being willing to hear what other members have to say or ask. For members finding it difficult to change certain components of the Constitution, bills, resolutions, or bylaws, I would definitely want to provide my full support and time to listen to their ideas and help them put them into words. In order to enhance members' knowledge of the legislative process, it can also make a difference to make the SG Constitution and bylaws accessible online to refer to. Additionally, I would like to encourage members to gather more ideas or opinions regarding the change they would like to make to get further assistance and support from other student government members and student body.
Thank you. Okay. That's all the questions I have for you at the moment. You're off the hook for right now, but you'll come back later to answer more questions. Next up, we have Wood, as our candidate for governmental affairs. Elizabeth, same process will go for you. I'll ask you 3 questions. Your time will start when you start speaking to answer the question. And then Suchira will do the same thing to let you know when your time is up. Okay, so my first question for you, Elizabeth, is what is your overall vision for your position in student government, and why should the student body elect you for Vice President for Governmental Affairs?
Hi, my name is Elizabeth. I am a sophomore political science major with a minor in sociology. My overall vision for this position is to put the voice of the student government into the hands of our constituents. So whether it be through the governance process or resolutions, SG has the potential to make huge change both on and off campus. So specifically, I hope to improve the petition process so that students can help to define what goals that the organization should be advocating for. I wish to maintain open communication lines between major groups on campus, such as the student body, the faculty, and the administration, so that everyone is aware of the student perspective. I also hope to make SG meetings more well-known and accessible so that everyone can get to know the great work that the organization does. Overall, I have a huge passion for SG, and my goal is to just spread that passion to everybody else. And these 3 tenets, advocacy, communication, and transparency, really define who I am and why I want to be your next VP of GA.
Thank you, Elizabeth. My next question for you is, what issues and initiatives do you plan to advocate for constituents as a member of the Student Government Cabinet?
During my time as a member of the Structural Innovation Task Force of the student government, I've come across a lot of great initiatives that other colleges have done and that I would want to implement in our school. For example, Food for Fine is a really great program that I found in another college that uses parking. Instead of paying parking fees, we can donate cans of food to the shop at TCNJ. But what's great about my position is I don't have to come up with all of the ideas. I have a great committee that can help me come up with some great advocacy projects, as well as the student body. And I really want to hear what they want and advocate for the issues that they have.
Amazing. Thank you, Elizabeth. And then my last question for you is, what is your plan and vision for working with prospective student organizations who are seeking to be recognized as an official TCNJ organization on campus?
So during my time on the Governmental Affairs Committee, I found that after we go through the approval process for new student organizations, they have a great first year, but then once a year passes and the leadership either graduates or moves on, it starts to fall off the ledge a little bit. So what I would propose is having almost a probationary period where organizations can have the support of the committee for that first difficult year and really get the support that they need, just so organizations can give their full impact to what the students deserve.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, that has exhausted all the questions that I have for you.